Good afternoon, YouTube. Oh my God, the weekend is finally here, and I hope everybody had an awesome week this week, and I hope everybody is enjoying the weekend because, man, there's a lot going on this weekend, and there's a lot worth talking about. First off, I got the Cubs game, spring training on right now. They are up 5-0 on the Colorado Rockies. Oh, but it's spring training. Shut up, bitch. Baseball is back, and it is back, all right? Look, football, you had your fun. Now it's time for baseball to take over, all right? Anyways, before we get started with today's episode, be sure to click the link in the description of this video to get some awesome Reaper Apparel merchandise, not to mention some awesome True Victory merchandise. For Reaper Apparel, use code NOMERCYSPORTS10. No Mercy Sports, all caps, followed by the number 10 for 10% off your order. Or if you want to do True Victory, No Mercy Sports 15. That's No Mercy Sports, all caps, followed by the number 15 for 15% off your entire purchase. Now, because it is Saturday, there is a UFC pay-per-view on, and like I always do with my introductions, I'm going to channel my inner Bruce Buffer. Why? Because it's time for the most uncut, unfiltered, and unfucking censored sports talk show you will find on YouTube. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode with everybody saying No Mercy Sports. Yeah!
Nobody can stop me now.
Let me talk to you. Man, there's a lot going on and a lot that I heard going on in the sports world that is definitely worth talking about. Look, I get it. We are almost a month and a half away from the NFL draft, but baseball is back. The draft ain't for another month and a half. It is WrestleMania season, for crying out loud. How is some of this stuff not getting the recognition it fully deserves? You know, I think I have the person that can shed some light and give some answers to these questions because he's big, he's spicy, he's got some spicy takes. Please welcome Spicy Big Mac. What's going on, brother?
So live from the car, man.
I swear to God, those fucking weekend warriors, man, they get you.
Yeah, man, listen, I was like, I missed 1 week. I couldn't miss another. I was like, man, I gotta be here. I gotta be for this, man. I'm so happy baseball started. Oh man.
God. Look, hey, those are the final two topics, as you already saw, for today's episode. But for now, we got a 40 for 40 on our hands. LeBron James becomes the first player in NBA history to reach 40,000 career points throughout his illustrious NBA career. Despite all the statistic categories that he has, he's racked up, and not to mention the 4 championships that he's won. Does this put him over Michael Jordan, or is MJ still a god amongst men?
MJ's the god amongst men. Let's be honest here. I mean, come on. The accolades, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's solidly probably the number 2 or 3, which still could be debated because, again, you have Kareem. Kareem, and you have Bill Russell. Like, these guys are at least top 3 or 4. So
you even got Kobe Bryant that can be thrown into the mix.
It's, you know, like, I'm not trying to take anything from his greatness, but if, again, we're talking about the single greatest players to ever play the game, where's Wilt Chamberlain at? Because, I mean, despite his championship woes, look at what he did. Look at his stats. Look at his accolades. He's got records that will never be broken.
Oh, absolutely. So, 100 points in a single game? Ain't no way that's being broken anytime soon.
Exactly. I mean, his points per. I mean, the points per game, his minutes per game. I mean, like I said, does this make LeBron amazing? Yes. Does this help his legacy? Yes. But You know what I mean? Unless he's going to bring 2 more chips to the table, 3 more chips to the table, it really doesn't matter. Like,
It doesn't. No.
he's not Michael Jordan. He's never going to be Michael Jordan. And it's like, to compare him to Michael Jordan isn't fair.
Right.
It isn't fair, you know? And that's why I said, like, anybody out of all the people I've ever seen play, the one person that I could say, like, that almost made it to Jordan level is Kobe Bean Bryant.
Absolutely.
Nobody else even compares.
The man doesn't
So-
get the recognition that he deserves because people feel that Shaq carried him for most of his career.
Now, I will say this, like, for me, in a sense, like, is LeBron James the rich man's Magic Johnson? Yes. That's
Mhm.
I wholeheartedly feel this way. That, I mean, literally the comparison, it like, that is the comparison for LeBron. Like,
Yeah.
he is the super Magic Johnson. He's if Magic Johnson lived up to everybody's expectations.
Absolutely. And didn't catch AIDS.
I mean, even if he didn't catch AIDS, no, you're in the right lane. Even if he didn't catch AIDS, I mean, he still wouldn't have the like. It's close. It's close, but the accolades thing is what I don't think Magic Johnson would have been even close to the same level. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, yes. It's
Even when we're right, we're always wrong.
yeah. But I mean, like you said, for me, LeBron, his legacy is cemented already. He could literally retire tomorrow, never play another fucking game, never go to another game, never do anything associated with basketball again, and it would be a-okay.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like, he's a Hall of Famer, first
Mhm.
ballot. Like,
Easily.
I mean, again, he's one of the greatest players I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But
No, I completely agree. He's definitely one of the greatest players to ever step foot on the court. I mean, granted, I don't like what he's done with the NBA. He's turned it into the friendship era. You know, everybody's buddy,
we'll call
dapping
it
up
the
before
flop house.
each game. But at the same time, his accolades are going to stand alone for quite some time. And, you know, like, it's easy for me. It's easy to put him at number 2, mostly because of like his fan base, or like, oh, you know, LeBron and the Lakers won the in-season tournament. Number 6, like, no, the in-season tournament was pathetic. It was a pathetic stunt by Adam Silver to try to boost numbers when football was at its peak and we were drawing closer to the playoffs. But I'm getting off track here. Yeah, no, LeBron,
Slow down.
what he's done throughout his career in the NBA is just nothing short of amazing. The guy has 4 championships, 40,000 career points, I believe 10,000, 11,000 assists and rebounds. I mean, like, the man stands alone in almost every NBA statistical category that there is right now. And I mean, it's crazy. But as far as trying to beat MJ, he'll never do it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, it's just like, again, without him winning multiple championships, he's just not in that conversation.
Yeah.
For me, again, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, but
Back.
the concise opinion of the matter is simply that, like, you have to get at least more championships than Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Okay, because now here's the thing. The other concise opinion is, if Michael Jordan doesn't retire in the middle of the 90s, he wins at least one, if not both of those championships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that being said, again, to be the man, you have to beat the man, and
Absolutely.
if you don't beat the man, then you're not the man.
I mean,
that's it.
No, I completely agree. The one thing that really stood out to me was an interview that MJ had, and it was about the 2020 Lakers, I believe, winning the Summer Camp NBA championship. You know, look, that was a summer camp championship. I don't
The
care what
original
anyone
play-in.
says.
It
They
was the
really
original
went to
play-in.
Orlando. You said what?
It was the original play-in.
Exactly. They really, all the teams that had a good record really went to Orlando and competed for a championship. That's what you do at summer camp, for fuck's sake. And then a reporter asked MJ, "Oh, do you think the 90s Bulls could beat the 2020 Lakers?" He goes, "Yeah, probably by 2 or 3 points." Reporter goes, "Really? It'd be that close?" MJ goes, "Well, yeah, we're most of us are in our 50s or 60s by now." You know the kind of like I took that personally mentality you gotta have for it to be like, yeah, well, we'd still beat them even though we're in our 50s and 60s.
Exactly. I mean, but literally though, that is the type of people that they were.
Yeah.
Like,
And those are the type of players that MJ made too.
but I will say this, okay? When you're talking like Michael Jordan is God tier, like
Yes.
he's the one and only. Okay, now if you want to talk about the demigod tier, that's your Kobe Bryant's, that's your LeBron James, that's your Will
Absolutely.
Chamberlain's, that your fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's, your Magic Johnsons, like your Larry Birds.
Oh, without question.
You know what I mean? Like these guys
You
were.
could even include Isaiah Thomas in that, or yeah, you could include Isaiah Thomas in the Bad Boy Pistons.
Yeah,
They were demigods. Like, yeah, they
but
were bad boys, but they beat.
I'm siding with MJ.
I was gonna say, like, they really beat the Lakers, Celtics, and Bulls with their star players in their primes, which was crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I give it to him, but again, the Detroit Pistons had a complete team.
They did.
A complete team. You
Yes.
had Dumars, you had Lambeer, you had
Mm-hmm.
Sally. I mean, come on, man.
You had Rodman for crying out loud.
Exactly, Rodman, Isaiah, and there's a few others I know I'm forgetting, but the point is like they had a nice set of teams. They had guys
Mm-hmm.
that were veterans coming off the bench, giving good minutes,
Yes.
and especially at that time, putting good minutes on the floor, which meant defense. Defense. It doesn't matter if the second guys that come on the court only score 12 points if they don't give up any points.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, come on, Detroit of all places, especially in the 90s, man, you had to play for something back then.
Oh yeah, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt. And that's what I'm saying, like, especially when you're talking about back in those days when it was you had the bad cities. You had the
Yes.
bad cities representing.
Absolutely. So we are in March. The March Madness tournament is upon us. I think I'm coming down with March Madness myself. The only known cure is to watch the tournament. It ain't COVID. You ain't gonna need a fucking shot. I know that for a fact. But Caitlin Clark, the Iowa basketball player who bursted onto the scene in the tournament when she hit Louisville with obviously John Cena's classic, "You Can't See Me." Now, since then, she's been racking up accolades to her resume, including becoming the all-time scoring leader, passing Pistol Pete Maravich in scoring. So, can Caitlin Clark lead Iowa to a national championship this coming tournament?
No. Competition's too strong.
Oh yeah.
She
Man, I wish Andrew was here because I know he'd
Final
be
Four.
talking a big game for South Carolina.
Bro, I'm listen. I mean, it's not even just South Carolina. It's you have four really good teams in women's basketball. Everybody else is shit. But like with saying that, okay, Caitlin Clark. Who else? Who else? Who else does she have? What I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sorry. You either have to play great team ball or you need at least two fucking superstars on your college team. You need two guys that can steadily handle, feed, and work that rock. And like I said, if Pete Maravich had a 3-point fucking line, you're
Ooh,
talking over another probably fucking 1,100 points.
yeah.
Okay, so like with those two, Caitlin Clark, I love it. I love it. I love seeing her with Iowa. Props to what she's doing. Like it's awesome.
She's
But
going to be a force in the WNBA because she did say that she will be declaring for the draft.
I mean, yeah, this is her senior year. She's, you know what I mean? Like, you can hit the gas pedal. You can go around a little bit.
Fucking devil's advocate.
But sorry. Um, yeah, no. It's just like, again, to see the competition that she's going against. It's, I'm not gonna say it's complete gravy train, but it's pretty fucking gravy. Okay.
Yeah.
Gravy.
I mean,
Pretty.
hell, look at the top two teams aside, or look at South Carolina and fuck, who's number 2 right now? Hang on. Hang on.
Bro, I'd be lying if I say I knew. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna name teams.
Yeah.
I was
So we
talking
got
about it.
South Carolina and Stanford in front of Iowa right now. I mean, look, Iowa is good. What Caitlin Clark has done for Iowa, making them relevant because, when it comes to women's basketball, it's either been UConn or Baylor or some other fucking team that has actually stood on the number 1 spot. And I mean, rarely do we see a Big Ten school like Iowa even in the top 3 rankings. But no, I completely agree. Like, it's going to be a tough tournament, and I don't see Iowa walking away with this unscathed anytime soon. Like, they better prepare themselves for war. And Cornstalks ain't going to do it, guys. Or, sorry, Cornstalks ain't going to do it, ladies.
Absolutely. No, I mean, for sure. Like I said, for me, the only thing that pissed me off was like they really were banging the drum about this motherfucking record about Pete Maravich, and it's just like, homie, do you realize how many extra points that she got
Yeah.
because she was able to make 3-pointers?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Like,
don't get me wrong. All-time leading scorer is all-time leading scorer, but at the same time, rules were different when Pete Maravich set the record back then.
and then again, let's be honest though. Again, Pete Maravich, if he played under the same rules that she does, I mean, how many more of those would have been and ones?
Oh my God, his record would probably be on LeBron's level. Like, it would be untouched.
Yeah, no, and I mean that's my point. I mean, you're talking about like with the same rules that is applied today. You're talking about, I mean, at least 1,100 to 1,200, if not much more. So and again, I'm downplaying the points
Yeah.
because again, you're talking about 3-pointers and a bunch more and ones because he would have got fouls where, you know what I mean, like they didn't call him fouls back in the day.
No, I mean, because they let the basketball players play basketball, and it was a physical game back then too. Nowadays, it's just foul.
Depending on who you are.
Yeah, true. Very true. Very, very true.
I've watched a good bit of Orlando's games this year. Like low key, they're like my dark horse to possibly make some. But
yeah, no, honestly, I would say I got Orlando and possibly Cleveland being a sleeper team going into the playoffs.
well, I mean, see, for me, it's hard. It's hard to keep calling Cleveland a sleeper team because they're number 2, number 3 now. What's his name? Fucking oh my god, why? What's his name? The is he
Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, I mean, how healthy is he right now? Because I'm gonna be lying. Oh, I probably cut out.
Yeah, you cut out a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely. I knew I was gonna cut out at some point. It might happen once or twice back here, but
Okay.
Yeah, no. So Mitchell, as long as Mitchell is healthy, it's going to be awesome.
True. True. The only reason I see Cleveland as another sleeper team is because Boston is clearly overshadowing the Eastern Conference right now. Milwaukee finally found a groove with Doc Rivers, and I believe they've won 6 straight, and maybe they've won 6 out of like 7 or something like that. They finally got something going. I know that much. But Cleveland constantly gets slept on because it's fucking Cleveland, you know?
Yeah.
The only time like people were giving them a shot was when it was LeBron's first and second stint with Cleveland, and then he just dipped out.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so again, for me, like you said, Cleveland. It's not just Mitchell. You got Garland, you got Mobley, you got Allen. Like it's a stacked team. Now, I am a Celtics fan. Like I like the Celtics. Okay, but watching them get beat by the Nuggets, I was like, damn, that just played a big mental game because if somehow the
Yeah,
Nuggets make it
a
back,
possible NBA championship matchup
and I'm
because
like,
even the fans were invested, and that felt like a finals game for crying out loud.
yeah, that was a big game for the Nuggets. Like I don't get like
Oh
that.
yeah,
That was a big game for the Nuggets, and for them to come out and win, I was like, oh, snapped an 11-game winning streak from Boston. So like for me again, like that was big. That was
oh
big.
absolutely. No,
Also,
absolutely. I mean, the playoffs when they come, it's going to be interesting. And man, oh man, it's going to see what teams go on a Cinderella run and what teams are or were pretenders throughout the entirety of this season. Speaking of pretenders, we got a busted Bronco on our hands. Oh, the Russell Wilson trade between the Seahawks and the Broncos. What looked promising in the beginning for the Broncos when they got Wilson, and it was thought that they were going to be contenders in the AFC and the AFC West, ended in total disaster. This might go down as one of the worst trades in NFL history. The Broncos really gave up 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, Drew Lock, and Noah Fant to the fucking Seahawks in order to get Russell Wilson. Meanwhile, the dummies of the Mile High City really gave Russell Wilson $165 million guaranteed and will eat $85 million in dead money. The only reason I mentioned $85 million in dead money is because in 4 days' time, on March 13th, the Broncos notified Russell Wilson that they will be releasing him. Like, look, Denver, if you wanted to suck this bad, you should have sucked with Drew Lock of all people. Because at least you would have been having a good time. For fuck's sake, the man was rapping, "I've been on for my city" by Young Jeezy on the sidelines after a drive. You'd at least have some fun with that.
yeah.
Oh, God. But how bad did the Broncos screw themselves with this trade?
I mean, no more than they did when they took Flacco off our hands. Bro, it is a rinse and repeat thing with this team now. Like, especially like John Elway. Bro, like you might have played one hell of a quarterback, but you do not know quarterbacks. Please
No.
stop. Let your fucking coach draft one. Let somebody else draft one. I mean, let somebody else help with the fucking. Oh my god, the quarterback position. Leave it alone.
Yes. I mean, the dude got rid of Tim Tebow for Peyton Manning when he could have utilized both quarterbacks. Peyton Manning used for the sky. Tim Tebow used for the ground. Tebow will easily beat up the fucking defense.
But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, this team has fumbled the bag multiple times, And like I said, until they figure out what's wrong with their scouting department, nothing's gonna change.
No,
Because
absolutely not.
again, you've had multiple years where you could have easily just drafted a different person, just drafted a different quarterback instead of picking up some old vet that is way past its prime.
Yeah. They're really becoming the AFC West team. They're really becoming the football version of the LA Angels, for fuck's sake. They keep bringing in these guys that are going to be so promising, but they're way past their prime and they can't fucking deliver.
Yeah. I mean, and again, some teams just like, bro, it needs to stop. Like, there's zero sense in it at all. Like,
No.
don't get me wrong, you bring in a veteran as a backup, but giving a guy like fucking Russell Wilson, who struggled in Seattle, then come there and you're paying him top dollar money just for him to turn around and struggle the first year,
Yeah.
right? And then he struggles the second year, and it's just like, bro, please learn from your mistake.
And
Stop.
this was with Sean Payton as the head coach, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, yeah, and that's my exact point, because everybody talked that shit. Everybody had something to say. Sean Payton had something to say. Oh, fuck that coach. That coach ain't shit. Oh, he couldn't win. He couldn't do this. He couldn't do that. And what happened?
I will say this, though. How the hell does Nathaniel Hackett still have a job in the NFL? The man can't hack it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm 100% with you on that one. Like, come on. Sorry, I'm walking in the house.
You good. You good. Oh, okay. Who we got? Oh, we got the. Oh, okay. Ron gets me up. Who gives a shit? Oh. But no, it's just mind blowing that as soon as the Jets land Aaron Rodgers, they bring in Nathaniel Hackett, and as soon as as soon as Rodgers goes down after 4 fucking plays in the regular season of the first game of all games. I mean, now granted, the Jets were relying on Zach Wilson, the Cougar hunter, but look, I didn't have any faith in the kid. I thought part of me did actually think that the kid would do something, but this is Nathaniel Hackett as the offensive coordinator and Robert Saleh as the head coach. These guys couldn't lead a horse to water and make him drink if they wanted to.
I don't know. I Salah is a good coach. I will say that he's a good coach. Now, did he get duped? Did he sell the farm for the horse? Yeah. No, they went all out for him.
Yeah, true.
All right, buddy. I love you. Oh.
Sit your stupid ass down, bitch. Oh, right down the pipe. Come on, Palencia. All right. So while Mac is doing his thing, I got the Chicago Cubs spring training game on Marquee. They are playing the Rockies right now, and they're up 5-0 in the top of the eighth. The count is 2-2. We got Cubs reliever Palencia and taking on the 7-hole. Palencia is 10 pitches in, and Goodman flies out. Oh, to Nico Horner.
I hear you saying talking about that baseball.
Yes, sir. Oh my God, we are less than 3 weeks away from baseball, and I cannot fucking wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. But speaking of the Chicago Cubs, there's a Chicago screw job going on. Now we all know the infamous Montreal screw job of moment between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart at Survivor Series of 1997. Now get ready for the Chicago screw job of 2024. Dummy GM, Ryan Poles of the Chicago Bears is really looking to put all his eggs in the basket of stocking up on draft picks and still drafting Caleb Williams. Nah. Now the NFL is starting to call his bluff, and they're letting it be known. Look, either you trade the number 1 pick and stock up on draft picks, or you use the number 1 pick to draft that fucking diva crybaby Caleb Williams. What should the Bears GM do?
Bro, there's no. Listen. They take Caleb Williams. You might as well, you just signed your own motherfucking check. You signed a check. You finna get fired. Goodbye. Like, I mean, come on, man. Think about, like, you have Justin Fields.
Yes.
Justin Fields is, if not anything, a proven gamer. You're gonna get rid of a proven gamer to bring in a fucking rookie.
That's basically what the Bears have been doing since Jay Cutler retired. They bring in Mitch Trubisky. They make the playoffs one year. It doesn't work out. They get rid of the head coach, the offensive coordinator, the GM, bring in somebody new. The new people get rid of Mitch Trubisky. They draft up to get Justin Fields, and Justin Fields is under a new regime. New regime doesn't work out. They fire literally everybody but the head coach. But, I mean, look, I completely agree. The Chicago Bears have a gamer. They got a dog. They got a scrambler. They got the total package with Justin Fields. They need to build around this dude because throughout the entirety of last season, every defense and their dead grandmother knew that the connection was going to be Justin Fields to DJ Moore.
Yeah. Listen, my biggest problem with it all is if you put Caleb Williams in there, you're not going to win anything.
No.
I mean, another 2 or 3 years, if then.
Yeah. And then
the offense, you trade back from the first pick, okay? You could literally there's how many teams have 2 first-round picks? I think, what is it? 2 teams?
Something like that, yes.
Either 1 or 2 teams have 2 picks in the first round. So you go and you market that fucking pick. Or you market it, you see what you get back for it. But again, the simple fact is, if you could trade back a couple picks, trade back a couple more picks, trade back a couple more picks, wind up getting multiple first-round picks. Like, even if it's in a later round, right? You're still gonna wind up getting the best guard in the fucking draft. You're gonna get one of the top 5 tackles in the draft. You can get one of the best centers in the draft. And that's the whole thing. The sweet spot for those guys are gonna be from like the 28th pick until like maybe the 46 to 52 range. All these guys are gonna be available that can instantly in and upgrade your offensive line because I don't give a fuck. That's the problem.
Yes,
You're not going to tell me right now he already has weapons. He's got weapons.
that
Okay.
he does.
I don't want to hear the shit about he needs another big name receiver. No, he doesn't. He's got all the guys. They can pick up a running back, but ultimately for that offense to succeed, he needs offensive linemen.
Yes. I mean, look, me being biased, I was going to say, like, if they can get Marvin Harrison Jr. to complement DJ Moore, and on top of that, with Darnell Mooney, their their receiving core will be set. They have some good running backs, but ultimately, you're right. Their problem was on the front line of the offensive linemen. Justin Fields was running for his goddamn life every time that ball got hyped.
Exactly.
Oh,
So my whole thing is, it's again, like you want to save your job, you want to work there for another 3 years, you want to sell the owner on another 3 years of listen, this is the vision, this is what I have going. Let's get on this train.
yeah.
And you ride that motherfucker. But I'm telling you, drafting Caleb Williams, you just fucking signed your own fucking pink slip, buddy.
Yep, you signed your death warrant, death certificate. You literally might as well walk out of the building right now if you go with Caleb Williams with that first draft pick. Again, me being biased, use the first draft pick on Marvin Harrison Jr. and then build the offensive line. Let him go somewhere else. Let him go to the Redskins. Let him go to the fucking Patriots.
Listen, and I hate to be the motherfucking person to say this, but I like Marvin Harrison Jr. I like him a lot. But first overall, nah, bro. Nah, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like the only scenario I see is you trading back. That's it. That's the only thing you can do at that spot. Picking anybody else at that spot. First off, you realize that how much money you're gonna have to pay that rookie.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Plus, the Bears have the entire NFL in the palm of their hands. You know how many other 31 teams are going to want to trade up just to get that number one pick, who are a quarterback away from making serious progress of getting into either the playoffs, the Super Bowl, or actually winning the Super Bowl.
Yep. Oh yeah. Like I mean, I'm just telling you, like the first round pick. Do you have to understand? Like it's not just we're trading draft picks for draft picks. Like for the first overall pick, I'm gonna take your draft picks. I can take a pick of players that I want. I like you get a haul for
I
that.
mean, we saw what the Carolina Panthers gave up just for the number one pick.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm like this. Like, look, you sell the pick, sell it for the best set of offensive linemen you can get, whether it be a
Yeah,
center
yeah,
guard or a guard and a tackle or a tackle and a center, whatever you can get with a first round pick, possibly, you know what I mean, a second round pick or a third round pick, depending on how good their motherfucking offensive linemen are.
yeah. No, absolutely.
And
And aside from quarterback, the draft is pretty deep in offensive linemen too.
that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, if you get say 3 picks. Oh, there I am. All right, if you
Yeah, I was gonna say you completely cut out. I heard 3 picks and then that
yeah.
was it.
No, I mean, if you get at least 3 picks in that sweet spot between, you know what I mean, even 32 to 52,
Hmm.
that spot, bro, you like 3 picks that you just swapped your whole offensive line essentially.
Yeah,
You had 3 young guys that are go getters that are fucking road graders, bro.
true. Not to
Not
mention
today.
we basically transport Justin Fields back to his Ohio State days when he was a fucking baller.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I agree with you. I agree with you, and that's literally what he's missing. He's missing an offense line. You get him a good, stable offensive line that can move, and you give him a good offensive lineman coach that can literally run the system he needs. with the offensive linemen, because you need big, agile linemen. These guys got to be, and everybody's got to be able to essentially cut block.
Right. No, absolutely.
So,
And be able to protect the quarterback too, because that's the biggest thing.
well, that's the whole thing. Like, you have to have agile guys to have a movable pocket.
Mm-hmm.
The Baltimore Ravens, like, we had to change up our scheme. Our scheme, we used to draft big, giant motherfuckers. We want 6'7", 6'8", 350-pound motherfuckers. That's what we did. We had Joe Flacco. We needed a clean fucking pocket for Joe Flacco, and we needed offensive linemen aligned to open up holes for fucking Ray Rice and them.
Yep. And I mean, look, it obviously worked out because Joe Flacco in his 2012 MVP season, the dude could have watched The Godfather 2 in the pocket with the amount of offensive linemen that he had protecting them.
I'll say this. The run to the Super Bowl, yes. During the regular season, not so much. So remember, we had to fire our offensive coordinator, Cam Cameron, halfway through the season. We wound up getting Jim Caldwell in there.
Okay.
So, and that's the thing that pissed me off the most. Jim Caldwell got a head coaching position because he won the Super Bowl as the offensive coordinator with the Baltimore Ravens. But guess what? It later came out that it was not Caldwell calling the offense. It was Joe Flacco calling the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Caldwell was like, look, I think these are the plays that, we should call in this scenario. And Joe Flacco would be the one to pick the play. So knowing that, like that's Joe Flacco had his year when he had an offensive player that let him do his fucking thing. Yeah. After that, it was over fucking bearing. And then again, 4 seasons later, he's no longer Raven.
Yeah, but I mean, look, the good thing about him getting another chance was he was able to come off the couch, go under Kevin Stefanski, and lead the Browns to a playoff spot, which was crazy. I mean, it was like Stefanski took Flacco, put him in the DeLorean, and had him transported back to 2012. That is how good he was performing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I ain't taking nothing from the guy. Flacco did his motherfucking thing.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to see him win in the playoffs. But
yeah. Unfortunately, the fucking Texans won the draft last year. There's no doubt about that.
No, Texans won everything last year.
Yeah, they got their quarterback. They got their defensive leader. Oh man.
Exactly. They got their defensive leader on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Their offensive leader on the field.
Yep.
Right. They picked up a couple nice pieces, and they got from what I consider the best rookie head coach performances that I've ever seen.
I'll agree to that. Yeah.
Like, I mean, bro, that's my whole thing. I mean, outside of Tomlin, what other rookie head coach came and not only went to the fucking playoffs with such a team rookie quarterback to then go to the playoffs and beat a team that was supposed to dog walk them.
Yes.
So
I mean, hell, even going back to what I said about the Broncos being the worst trade, the Browns screwed themselves because Deshaun Watson has played a total of 12 games with Cleveland, and he's been riding the bench ever since. Stefanski is literally winning with a carousel of quarterbacks. That is the craziest part.
Yeah, bro, and again, I won't take that from him, not one little bit.
No, absolutely not. Dude obviously deserved Coach of the Year.
Hell yeah, treacherous. Hell yeah.
I get puppy.
Yeah, you see the husky?
Yeah. I get puppy. Hi.
Free
Yeah.
toe.
Don't bring that dog out here to El Paso. Thing would have a heart attack.
Oh yeah, bro. Like,
oh God.
When it snows here, getting hurt is horrible. So, like, I live in Baltimore. So right now I'm up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So,
damn. That dog must have the time of its life when it sees snow.
oh yeah, I mean, getting her in the house is absolutely horrible. But yeah, so she'll go lay in the snow, and like same thing. Like it gets hot out, put a pool out there, it won't get out the pool.
It'll just lay in the snow like, no, I'm not getting out of here.
Yeah. So right now I'm up in PA, so it gets a little more snow up here than it does where I'm at.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But enough talk about football because baseball season is upon us. We are less than 3 weeks away from opening day, and I cannot wait. We got 2 topics that are easily worth discussing about. So we got 2020. We got some 24. God, I'm so fucking excited for baseball season. We got 2024 predictions that we need to make going into the season. Over, under. So, first place we are starting is the SEC of baseball, the AL East. Your Baltimore Orioles that finished first in the AL East won 101 games and lost 61. Do they finish over or under that amount?
Under.
Okay, so somewhere in the 90s?
Yeah. I'm gonna say the sweet spot would be 92 to 95.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's be realistic. I mean, so Tampa's going to be good, but they're not going to be as good as they were last year. The Yankees are going to be a lot better than they were last year.
Yeah.
And Boston's going to steal some wins.
They will steal some wins. There's no doubt about that.
So
And
I mean, it's like this. Like, it's not necessarily a step back, okay, but it could be a possibility where we wind up winning 100 games. Might not be 101, could be 100, but I know we'll be over 92. What I'm calling right now is at least 92 wins. Now, again, this is barring a bunch of injuries and a bunch of, you know what I mean, like unforeseeable shit right now. But healthy all season, oh yeah, we're going to do damage.
oh yeah, and especially with your draft pick, who is it? Jackson Holiday?
Oh,
Ooh.
he's already killed.
You already add him to the mix of who is it? Gunnar Henderson?
Yep.
And Adley Rushman. Oh, that's a big 3 for Baltimore if I've ever seen one, baby.
Bro, and the crazy shit is it's not even just that. It's not even just that.
Oh.
The simple fact is like now you have an infield
yes
plotted to play together for possibly the next decade. Okay. You got Holiday at third base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got fucking O'Hearn at first base. You got fucking Gunnar Henderson at shortstop or second base, right? And then you got fucking Adley Rushman at fucking catcher.
Yeah.
These
man,
literally that they are going to play together for the next at least 3 years.
Yes.
But signed O'Hearn. Okay, so we got O'Hearn on the contract for years to come now. Okay, so again, you're talking the next 3 to 5 years at least.
And don't forget the closer. Who is it? Felix Bautista?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Obviously, the offense and defense for the Orioles is going to be there. You bring in Bautista to close it out. I easily see 100 wins for the Orioles.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the 100 is what I'm scared to say 100, just because it does. Regardless, it's an outlandishly high number.
Yeah,
it is. So me saying 92 is a lot more comfortable because I know come the dog days of summer, we'll be in that 80, almost hitting 90. it'll be coming down to like it'll be like the last 4 weeks of baseball left, and we're right there on the cusp of it. And I'm telling you honestly, I think it's going to be the last 3 weeks of the season is going to determine who wins our division between the Yankees and the Orioles.
No, completely agree. And on top of that, I think comfortable win zone for the Orioles is definitely 95 wins. Like, they have a great young team put together to win 95 games this season.
Yeah, no, and I mean, it's again, I say this as an Orioles fan. I've never said this in my life. I've never even thought this, but I feel it this year more than I've never had this feeling where I
Right.
like this could be our year.
No, I mean, look.
Legitimately thinking about spending $300 on opening day tickets. Like I'm legitimately thinking about this. Like, do I really want to do this? Like, I'm really thinking about doing this.
Hey, if you got the money we're spending, treat yourself, man. Go see
I'll
an
tell you,
Orioles game.
if I hit a big parlay over the next 2 weeks,
Ooh, okay.
absolutely.
Fair enough. All right, so the next team we're going to move on to was the team that finished second in the AL East, and that is the Tampa Bay Rays. They won 99 games last year.
So the Rays winning 90 games.
Yeah, they won 99 games last year.
I'm gonna say 80. I'll feel comfortable around 80. I think it'll be around 80 wins this year. Like I said, I think they take a step back, not a huge step back, but big.
Yeah, especially after losing their star shortstop being Wander Franco.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just that. I mean, again, Glaslow.
Yes.
That
Didn't he go to the
I'm sorry,
Dodgers?
bro. For him, I'm not gonna say I know exactly how many wins he had, but I know he had over 13 wins last year.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry if you win more than you lose, you're a fucking winner.
Yeah,
I
very
mean,
true.
I don't give a shit because, like I said, pitching it's like it's again. If you're on, you're on. If you're not, you're not. And
No, couldn't agree more.
some days like your shit can be looking fucking sweet, but I mean, you just happen to get the right batter. He just happens to hit your pitch really well. And that also happens where it's just like these guys, you got a team that are really good at hitting off ball pitches. And your slider is motherfucker your off speed slider. And that's usually your go-to pitch when you need to get somebody out. And every time you're pitching that motherfucker, whack! God damn it! What you know? And I've seen shit like that happen. It happened to Otani a couple of times.
Yeah.
Where he would throw an off-speed pitch, thinking that he was going to get him, and that's like, I this one,
Yeah, it was a hanging breaking ball that was just begging to be crushed.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. As far as pitching goes, man, it's like any batter can have his day.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like you see home runs and grand slams, way more than you see no hitters.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Way more
And
than a perfect game.
yeah, I mean, look, being a kid was actually enjoying the steroid era. Being an adult, I said what I said. Look, we enjoyed the moonshots. What can I say? We enjoyed the race between Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. Me being an idiot, I was constantly doing Sammy Sosa's iconic home run hop as soon as he knew that he had left his bat. But being an adult is being invested in pitching and seeing the kind of pitches that they're throwing. And it's like, bro, what are you waiting on? The world to change? Like, that was right down the pipe. That was a beach ball. That was a meatball. Come on, swing the bat, do something.
Yeah, no, I mean 100%. Yeah, that pisses me off more than anything. I would rather see guys strike out swinging
Mm-hmm.
than standing there like,
What happened?
oh, I thought it was ball. They won a ball. They look like a ball.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, look, if Angel Hernandez is behind the plate, then it's more than likely going to be a ball. Let's be honest.
yeah, no, I mean,
How
but
that man still has a job is beyond me.
all right, next division.
All right. So next division, we got the AL Central. The first place Twins finished 87 and 75. Do they go over or under 87 wins?
I think they'll be close. They'll be close again.
Mm.
It
Yeah,
won't, like they could win 5 more games, or they could lose 5 more games.
very true.
Kind of
I mean,
on that cusp.
looking at the standings for the AL Central last year, it really wasn't all that competitive. How the Twins came out of it, I'm honestly not sure. The only team that came close was the Detroit Tigers, who won 78 games.
Yeah, no,
For me, I think Detroit goes somehow finishes a little over 80 wins this
okay,
season.
but again, wasn't it Miguel Cabrera's last year?
Hmm.
It was his last push.
Yeah, I believe so.
So them losing Cabrera, well, you know what I mean. Like that's a lot of RBIs. That's a good, nice
That's the
little
batter that
run.
knew to run the pitch count too.
Yeah. So I mean, again, like I feel like they definitely lost more than they gained.
Right,
So
absolutely.
they're definitely losing more games.
Yeah. One team I really got my eyes on is the Kansas City Royals. They have a great young team put together. They, I believe, signed Bobby Witt Jr. to a multi-year extension. They got a new catcher to replace Salvador Perez. I believe that's who it was behind the plate. But I mean, I think going into this season, the Royals go win over 50 games. Win over 50 games, yeah.
Um, they definitely need. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't, especially to step back with the Tigers. And it's again, it's one of those things where it's just like they should scoop up at least a handful of games, if not a dozen games.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, who's the next team?
So, next team, we got the Cleveland Guardians, who won 76 games last year. You're on mute.
Yeah, so I was talking to somebody real
Oh,
quick.
okay. Okay. No.
How many games?
The Cleveland Indians went 76 and 86 last year.
76 and 86. I think it might come close to flipping. I think it'll be like 82 to 80.
Okay.
Some in that range. So they're going to be around 50,
Okay.
50,
And
50.
then and then we got the AL Chicago team being the Chicago White Sox, who went 61 and 101.
So this is my dark horse. I feel like
Really?
if the so again they won some games they were not supposed to last year.
Yeah, true.
It's a team I believe I think you were on the show with Andrew. I said they play up to their competition, 100%.
Hmm. Plus, I
So
think with the departure of Tim Anderson to the Marlins, I think that might do some good for them.
I was about to say it's going to make them better. It's going to make them better. I'm sorry, with the off the field drama that he had going on,
Mhm.
with the on the field not performing well.
Right.
I'm just.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's a plus.
yeah. Me being on the outside looking in, I think the addition of Tim Anderson for the Miami Marlins, I think him and Jazz are just going to click on all cylinders.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like new city, new spot, new,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's just it's a good time to move on.
No, for sure, for sure. But yeah, so we are going to move out to the AL West. We got the division-winning Houston Astros, who went 90 and 72 last year.
It'll be close to the same record.
Hmm.
There's not much going to change there.
Hmm.
Astros are going to be the Astros.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they do have the players, they have the defense, they have the pitching. They just who they bring in for their manager once Dusty Baker stepped down.
Don't know.
True.
Don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Listen, I know general manager. I don't know the pitching coach for the Orioles. I don't know the Orioles. I don't know positional coach. The coaches that stand on the side at first base and third base, I ain't got no clue what their names are.
Very true. Very true. Next team up, we got the defending World Series champions, the Texas Rangers. Much like the Astros, they went 90-72 last year.
It's gonna. I'll give them at least 85.
Okay.
85.
Okay. I mean, I was going to say, at best, I'll give them 95 wins being the defending champions.
See, 95, like, even being defending champions, like, that puts a lot of pressure on you. It also puts a big target on your back. When you caliber of teams you're going up against on your regular, like, in your division and in your conference, what is it called? Yeah.
Division.
Yeah, I mean the whole NL.
Oh, yeah, the American League.
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. The American League. The talent that's in the American League that you're going to have to go up against the majority of your schedule is, like I said, I mean, and that's what I'm thinking about in perpetuity teams is like the crappier the teams, they're going against the crappier teams more often than the better teams. And when you're right in the cusp in the middle spot, that's usually when you wind up having to go against the harder and better teams.
Very true.
So when the schedules come out and everything is, put out there, you're like, well, shit. That looks like a week that we might be lucky to win too, because we're going to be on the road for, a week and a half.
Right.
Like, imagine like even the Orioles, imagine having to go 2 weeks, you know what I mean? Like you're playing 4 games at New York and then you're going to Tampa for 4 games.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's a hell of a back-to-back.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
I think that happens to us once this year, but I actually think it's opposite. I think we go Rays then Yankees with only 1 day in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, with baseball, it's always a marathon, never a sprint. Why some of these teams feel the need to like jump out to a fast start is kind of beyond me. But it's like, yo, we got 162 games. Like, save the winning when it matters most after the All-Star break.
I mean, yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. I feel like, again, like you said, it's a marathon. Mm-hmm. Like the whole thing is, right, and especially in baseball, okay, can't get him every game, but you should be able to get him every other game.
Right.
So if you teach that mindset that, you know what I mean, the goal is to win at least every other game.
Yeah.
That you have to win every other game. That's the mindset.
Now, like the 2019 Nationals, for example.
Yeah. Because, again, some players, they thrive under pressure.
Yes.
Do not. Some players do not. So when a guy feels like that, or he's coming in, and man, we got to win every game, and every time you lose, it's a bigger and bigger blow. The more losses pile up, it's a bigger and bigger blow. But if you're just like, you know what, no problem, we get him tomorrow.
Yep.
We're gonna get him tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
if you have that mentality, it does. It builds better and positive. Like that's what the Orioles essentially have done over the last 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's like going into certain games, like, hey, let's just try to go 1-0 for the stretch that we're on right now. If we can, like, let's use again the Orioles as an example. They go on an 8-game road trip, and they go 5-3. Like that is very successful. Hell, even if they go 4-4. That's still successful. They got key wins that they needed to add to their record. To look, if the playoffs started that day, they probably get in. So,
yeah, I mean, for sure, and that's the game of baseball. The game of baseball it's not always just wins and losses, but it's when you win and when you lose.
Yeah, it is the key wins that baseball looks out for, that it's like, okay, well, this team proved themselves. They should be in the wild card. They should be in the ALDS, NLDS, so on and so forth.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the thing is, we see more oftentimes than not that teams find a way to lose games
Yes.
more than teams find ways to win.
A perfect example would be last year's Chicago Cubs. They were sitting in the second spot of the wild card and then proceeded to lose 16 out of their 20 games that was left in the regular season. Now, I jumped on the bandwagon. I rooted for the Arizona Diamondbacks because Arizona, from where I am, is about a 6 to 8 hour drive. And I'll be damned if I'm going to root for the Astros before I start rooting for the fucking Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks had a well-put team together. Anyways, we're going to get to the Diamondbacks in a bit. For now, we're staying in the AL West. Another dark horse team that I see coming out of the AL West, the Seattle Mariners, who finished 88-74. Unfortunately, did not make the playoffs.
Yeah, Seattle Mariners. I definitely see them on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's you called it, I think, a couple weeks ago when you pointed it out, and you were like, yeah, I'm calling this as my dark horse, and I'm like, yeah, I feel 100% with you. Like, like, I mean, hey, they play up to their talents, and they play up to the talent they're going up against. There's no reason why they shouldn't be a championship team.
No,
Or couldn't
absolutely.
be.
I mean, they are in a very competitive AL West team right now. It is them, the Texas Rangers, and the
Glaslow. Are they the ones who got Glaslow?
Shit. Or might have been the Dodgers or Padres. Tyler Glasnow. Yeah, he's with the Dodgers. But yeah, so Seattle Mariners, I really could see making an impact or making some noise, I should say, in the AL West. I mean, much like you said with the Chicago White Sox, two very good dark horse teams going into this year.
Oh yeah. See, and that's what I love about baseball because, bro, when you're hot, you're hot.
Yes.
When you're not, you're not.
Mm-hmm. And not being hot, you know which team in the AL, which two teams in the AL West are not going to be hot? The Angels and the fucking Athletics.
Okay.
I mean, look, the A's went 50-112 last year. They'll be lucky to even get 60 wins going into this season.
I'd see. Again, they have some good young talent there.
They do. I mean, I got a scope of their talent. Ricky Belde, whatever the fuck his name is. That man is the leader of that team, without question.
Listen to me. Remember this, okay? What did they say about the Orioles last year? They couldn't win 70 games. It's just a bunch of young kids. They had a bunch of scrub-ass veterans, and look what they did last year. Now this year, we brought back a couple of them scrub veterans. Okay, we got all of our young guys. We got another young guy
they got that playoff experience.
And exactly, the big thing is they got playoff experience. Now they understand what it means.
Yep.
Literally, you either live or die by.
Mm-hmm. And man, oh man, has Baltimore been wanting a playoff game since what, 2013 when they had Manny Machado?
Yeah.
Ooh, man. Playoff baseball in Baltimore. I've seen the games. It is electric. Nothing short of it.
I think Markakis was still there at that time.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I mean, I remember a good bit of those guys. But yeah, man, it was just like, we bought most of that team. and we tried to make a push, but it didn't really work out. But this team, we've grown this team. We've collected and crafted.
Y'all used the farm system, and it paid off.
Well, no. The biggest thing is, like, you have to understand, if you go back and you look through the years, like all through the 2000s, all through, all the way up, even a few guys in the 90s, guys who came through our farm systems got traded out. You know what I mean? For bullshit. Like, that's what we did. We would train people up. We get them up. We get them in the fucking major leagues. They play 1 or 2 good years for us, and then whoosh, out the door. It was like a turnstile for us for years.
Right.
Like, even when we had Cal Ripken. Like,
fucking Iron Man.
It was it's tough. It's tough. But
it really is. But unfortunately, with baseball, like other professional sports, it's a business,
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So now, knowing what I know about the new ownership of the Orioles, like, you're talking night and day. You're talking about people who literally said, and they said this, like, the organization's goal with the new GM and the new trust in place and the new coach and the new system that we implemented, okay, it's literally everything was designed for 2025.
Yeah.
We wanted to be in the World Series by 2025. That was the goal. We're going to build it slow. We're going to build it piece by piece and year by year. That's what they pitched. Okay, and now with the new ownership people that bought the Orioles.
So they took the Theo Epstein route.
Huh?
The Theo Epstein, when he was general manager for the Chicago Cubs, he was like, "Look, I got a plan for this team, but you're gonna have to give me patience."
You know what I've seen. I thought you.
Hey, look, Theo Epstein was him. Okay, he brought a World Series to the Chicago Cubs after 108 years of fucking misery.
Whew.
I don't think the guy has any relation to that other fucker.
Okay. Next time, say the first name first.
I said Theo.
No. You said the first time. You said the Epstein, and that first thing I'm thinking, I'm like, oh shit, we going.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. Yeah. So the Orioles are basically taking the Theo Epstein route.
Yes.
Like the front office and general managers have a plan. The fans just need to be patient.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they told us, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When they came in.
I mean, look, after what they posted last year, man, my expectations for the Orioles are fucking high going into this season, and I just cannot wait to see what the AL East puts down on the table.
See, now I'm a realistic fan, because now our season from last year is going to be harder this year. Okay, so we're going to face tougher opponents and playing better talent, because the Yankees are going to be better.
Yep.
They're still going to be decent. Okay,
have fun dealing with the Soto Shuffle.
And again, it's just the overall schedule.
Yes.
This is Major League Baseball. This is not easy.
Yeah.
If it was
17, 18 weeks long, it's not, college football. We got 162 games from the end of March all the way up until around the end of November.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is going to be one hell of a season to watch for the American League, but we got to get into the National League. So, we're going to start off in the NL East. The division-winning Atlanta Braves went 104-58.
Okay, I'll say this: 98. I'm not giving them 100, but I'll give them 98.
Okay, respectable.
Wins. I'm just not. For me, again, that just sounds too cocky, because, again, injuries, yips, motherfuckers just, have a bad, a bad month.
Yep.
So
plus, you want to save your best players for come playoff
in the playoffs. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Yes.
Barring multiple major injuries, they're going to be in the playoffs. I'll put money on it.
No, I'll put money on that as well. I really believe that the Braves will be in the playoffs.
It might only be $1, but I'll put $1 on it.
Oh man. All right. So next team up, we got the Philadelphia Phillies. They've been on that World Series hunt as soon as they signed Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, a whole bunch of other players bringing it to this team. They've been chomping at the bits trying to get a World Series. They went 90-72, unfortunately came up short and ran into a team known as the Arizona Diamondbacks, or after, I believe, game 4 or 5, they were the Arizona Answer Backs.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So do the Phillies go over or under 90 wins?
I think they'll be right about that.
Okay.
I think, I mean, like, they're good. They're competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, they're going to hit that about average. They're about a 90-win team.
Yeah. I mean, they got the best catcher in the league. They got arguably the best player in the league being Bryce Harper. Easily a top 5 pitcher being Aaron Nola in the league as well.
I don't know about the best player in the league, but
that's why I said arguably.
I mean, he definitely top 5.
Yes, I'll agree to that. I will agree to that. All right, so the team that finished in the middle of the pack was the Miami Marlins that finished 84-78. Somehow still made the wild card with that type of record.
Didn't they get Soto?
I don't know. I know they got Tim Anderson this offseason. But
Soto. Or I thought Soto got traded by the Padres.
Oh, yeah. No, Juan Soto went to the New York Yankees. Man, Soto in Miami, though? Oh, my God. He would fit in perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just remember hearing about him getting traded on ESPN while I was at work, and then maybe they were talking about the Miami Marlins after they said it, but that's why I was like, I thought he got traded to Miami.
No, that wasn't the case. But yeah, Miami, they got Tim Anderson, they got Yuri Perez, Sandy Alcantara, I mean, Jazz Chisholm Jr., they got a well-put team together. At best, I think they get 90 wins.
I'm comfortable at like 85.
Okay.
Like it's not going to be a shit year, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be one of their best years.
No, for sure. I agree. Yeah, I'd say 85 is a very comfortable win spot for the Marlins, without question. This team I got no faith in. I've had no faith in since they lost the 2015 World Series to the Royals, the New York Mets. At best, I'm saying 80 wins.
I mean, they sold the farm to then sell their lineup.
Yeah.
Have no farm, no lineup. You know what? I think it's going to be close, but I see 79 to 82 wins.
Respectable.
I think that's what they're going to be. They're going to be just respectable enough.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because again, I feel like it's like sometimes when the bigger teams get less, they get more of it.
Yeah.
And that tends to be the truth, especially when it comes to like teams like the Mets.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying their farm system's completely shit, but they did trade a couple pieces away to get, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, seeing them trade picks, then, understanding how, running a team goes, like, you either have to spend a lot of money or you got to trade picks and you got to draft people and like you have to move people around in your system. But if you got one way of getting people, and that's by buying people. I mean, bro, you're going to want to spend a lot of money.
I mean, on top of that, the last 2 out of the 3 years, they had over 100 days in first place and then choked it away. Like, I really don't have any faith in this team whatsoever. Like, as soon as they lost the 2015 World Series, it was the beginning of the end for the New York Mets. Now, the last 2 years, they did look promising in the beginning. But as a good buddy once told me, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And they finished pathetically 2 out of the last 3 years.
Yes, I agree with you. And just because, I mean, it popped in my head, bro, I want to see Aaron Judge hit like fucking 80 some home runs, bro. Like,
Ooh,
I'm pissed off
you and me both.
that this motherfucker, like, I mean, bro, he needed like okay, and I hate to be that guy and be like, yeah, I know what's best for you, but
Yeah.
just being a big guy and understanding that, like, when I played baseball, I was like 6'2" the last
Yeah.
time I played, okay, and it was everybody would always throw to my knees, so I seriously I just widen my stance up real wide so I get low. So no matter what, he's gonna throw it where I can hit it.
Oh, so like a Jeff Bagwell
Arm space
stance.
to be able to keep your arms out and swing through. Like being a bigger person, it's just like, man, he should be killing balls, and he doesn't even have to like kill it.
No.
He's just got to do a natural swing through
Man,
and
it's
turn the
6'9",
wrist.
270 for crying out loud.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man, just widen it up, shorten it up, and oh boy,
I'm
I
telling
mean,
you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. So this next team, I mean, I think it was sort of a rebuild year, but they didn't do as bad as I thought they were gonna do. The Washington Nationals went 71-91. I mean, looking at their spring training, they got 2 really good batters coming into their who look like they could come into their system and provide enough runs to get those sneaky wins.
so I'm going to give them a large margin here.
Oh, okay.
They could have 60 wins. They could have 80 wins.
Okay.
Flip a coin.
Yeah. No, I'll agree with that. Yeah. At best, 80 wins. But I mean, if they don't perform to the standards, then yeah, easily 60-ish wins. So, anyways, but we're moving on to the NL Central. One team or 2 teams, I should say, in particular, I cannot wait to talk about. But we're going to start with the NL Central winning team being the Milwaukee Brewers, who had Craig Counsell with them last year. They went 92-70. Unfortunately, Craig Counsell is now with the Chicago Cubs. We're going to get to the Cubs in a bit. The Milwaukee Brewers, 92-70. Over or under?
Put a gun to my head. I'm gonna say under.
Okay. So
But
like 85 or somewhere in the 80s.
like 89.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Like I'm talking sniffing 92. But
Mm,
again, with you winning, you get a harder schedule, and
yes.
we'll see. Like I said, I think
Absolutely.
they're going to be a good team. I think they're going to be competitive, but
Mhm.
you're going to put a gun in my head and say over 92? No.
No, I mean honestly, I really got to agree. I think the Brewers could really sniff between 85 and 90 wins going into the season. Like Craig Counsell has done a really great job with the Brewers. But let's see what he can do with the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs have the talent. They I want to say somewhat have the pitching. But I mean with what Council can do because Morel's going to third. They can rotate Wisdom between first, third, and DH. Bellinger is back on a 3-year deal, and Now, last year, the Cubs went 83-79. Again, losing 16 out of 20. I don't know fucking why, because they would have been a dangerous team going into the playoffs. So over or under 83 wins for the Chicago Cubs?
Over.
Yeah.
I'm going over. Over at least over 85.
Okay.
Like I feel comfortable saying that.
Yeah, I feel comfortable saying that too, especially with the fact that they have Shota Imanaga in their rotation. And man, that's going to be one sexy ass rotation to watch going into this year.
Yeah.
All right. So next team up that's also looking sexy going into the 2024 season, the Cincinnati Reds, with Ellie De La Cruz leading the way. Man, they finished 82-80.
79.
Really?
I'm saying at least 79.
Okay. I'm gonna say at best, I think they get 90 wins.
Woo!
I mean, look, Ellie De La Cruz bursted onto the scene, and man, did he make an impact.
That's over 90.
Hey, the man made an impact as soon as he came onto the scene. We're talking about a guy that not only stole second, not only stole third, but stole home against the Milwaukee Brewers.
Legitimately, I'm going to check the odds on that right now.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, hey, if it's a good bet, I mean, shoot, I'll throw $5 on it if it's going to pay.
Okay. I'm really excited for the Cincinnati Reds going into this season.
Because I'm telling you right now, it's probably a pretty good payout.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a good payout as well. So the bottom two teams of the NL Central, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates, who went 76-86.
They'll be around 70.
Fair enough. And
like,
then
there hasn't been much improvement there. I mean,
no, unfortunately not. I mean, yeah, they brought in Andrew McCutchen, but that was more of bringing in ticket or making sure ticket prices went up because man started his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Who else did they add?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, 70 wins, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh really floats between 70 and 79 wins.
Yeah.
Like just somewhere in that region. But speaking of 70 wins, the St. Louis Cardinals, who finished 71-91.
What's the difference?
Yeah, I think much like the Pirates, they just kind of float around 70 wins.
Yep, there's going to be at least one, if not two, 60 to 70 win teams.
Yeah, I mean, like they lost Yadier Molina. They don't have Adam Wainwright anymore. Yeah, I mean, essentially they're in rebuild mode, so they're pretty much going to have to rely pretty heavily on their farm system and bring in some much needed pitching as well.
Yeah, no, I mean 100%.
Anyways, so I've been saying it for so long, ever since I believe 2021 or 2022. This division is going to be an all-out war zone. The NL West. We got the division winning LA Dodgers, who finished 162. They really spent over $1 billion on two players on a near 25-year deal.
How many wins did they have?
100 wins last year.
98.
Ooh, okay.
Again, this is barring major injury, that nature.
I was gonna say, like, assuming that the Dodgers are clicking on all cylinders, 110 easily. But
110.
Hey, look, the Dodgers can do whatever they want during the regular season, but when it comes time for October and November, they're gonna do what they always do best.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Now, moving down the ladder, the team that swept them in the NLDS last year, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who went 84-78.
At least 85 to 88 wins. Not 88 wins. I give them at least 88.
Okay, respectable. I'll agree with that. I mean, they brought in Jock Peterson. They have a really great young team with Corbin Carroll, Yuri Gurriel Jr., I believe, Christian Walker, Cattell Marte. They have a great team put together.
You
So
know that team, brother.
hey, look, I was watching them during the season. When I saw them in first place in the NL West, I'm like, they're over the Dodgers. They play the Dodgers in the NLDS. I'm like, oh, I got to watch this. I didn't expect them to win almost by 10 plus runs in the first game. And then as soon as it's game 3 in Arizona, they had 4 home runs in 1 inning off of Lance Lynn. It was just beauty at best. It was beauty at its best in that playoff series.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they had a nice little run. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're going to have a good year. They've
Yeah.
definitely taken a nice little step forward.
Mm-hmm.
Let's again see. I can't wait to see how they play.
I can't wait either. So the San Diego Padres, who really invested a lot of money and then some into a lot of players just to go 82-80 last year.
With them getting rid of Soto, and just everything with that organization, yeah, they're going to be about an 80-win team.
Yeah, so about the same record. I could see that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I could see him winning 85, but I could also see him winning 79, 78.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, man, yeah. I mean, not that surprised. like they were okay.
Yeah, I mean, 2022 was easily their best shot to win a World Series.
I mean, it's
But
like some of these teams, again, it's when you build through the draft and you build the right way and you pick up key veterans and you make smart baseball decisions and you have good people in the front office.
yeah.
It's not hard, man, and it's just like that. It's with every major sport.
Yeah.
It's if you buy your talent, you're gonna lose. You can't buy talent. You have to home grow that stuff.
Yep. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're in that day and age where it's like you got to use the farm system. The last team that actually bought their talent and won was the Yankees. Since then, they had to heavily rely on their farm system, and lo and behold, enter Aaron Judge.
Oh,
So, all right, but next team up, I feel that if this team stays healthy, they could also be in the same position that the Diamondbacks were in last year. The San Francisco Giants, the rival to the LA Dodgers, who went 79-83 last year. Assuming that the Giants stay healthy, I think they win 80 plus.
80's close. 80's close. It's gonna be close to 80.
Okay. Fair enough. And then last but not least, we got the Colorado Rockies. Chris Bryant, you should have done your homework before signing with the Rockies. You would have had more success if you signed with the fucking Phillies, my guy. Now you're paying the price. I don't feel bad for you at all. The Rockies went 59-103 last year.
I think they do a little bit better.
Yeah. So like 65-ish.
I'll go 70.
Okay.
I think they'll win 70.
Okay.
Last year they lost a lot of games.
That they did.
I watched the Rockies go up fucking 12-2,
Mm-hmm.
somehow lose fucking 12-14. And it's just like, my guy, what?
Yeah.
What happened? Like the sixth inning, boom, you gave up 3. The seventh inning, you gave up 5. Like, and it just like, what?
I don't get it either. I mean, I like supporting the Rockies. They're a good team, but they keep losing key games that are like, bro, this will make or break you when it comes playoff time.
The big thing is they lost a lot of winnable games at home.
Yes.
That's what the difference was. But this year, I mean, again, you're bringing young guys in. Quite a few of the guys are returning, so it's like they should play better.
Yeah. All right, that's fair enough.
I mean, I'm not saying playoffs or any crazy shit. Yeah, I mean they should get at least maybe 10 wins more.
Fair. So essentially, they'll be on the outside looking in, and come next year, they should be ready for the playoffs.
I wouldn't say all that yet, but we'll see.
Fair enough. So last topic of the episode, I actually heard something being talked about on ESPN radio that should be getting more recognition than it deserves. Again, we are less than 3 weeks away from baseball season, but the only thing that ESPN and Fox Sports Radio can do is keep talking about, oh, let's talk about the draft. Let's talk about where some of these quarterbacks can end up. Who gives a shit? We are on the verge of baseball season, for fuck's sake. Let's talk about the most interesting man in baseball. Like a player outside of baseball who's got he's got that personality. He's got pizzazz. He's got this. He's got that. He's so much more fun to follow off the field than he is watching on the field,
Who?
So these are actually my 2 takes: Anthony Rizzo and Mookie Betts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, those are my 2 takes. I mean, right now ESPN Radio's doing their own fucking thing with that. I mean, they're gonna go division by division, American League, NL League, or National League. But I really feel that Anthony Rizzo and Mookie Betts are 2 of baseball's most interesting men. I mean, Rizzo, he's got the personality. He's so much fun to watch. He makes everything look fucking effortless, for crying out loud. And then on top of that, you got Mookie Betts, who is a professional bowler on the side. Aside from making millions on a diamond, he'll just go bowl a turkey. And then obviously his personality off the field is just easily bar none.
Okay, so for me, and it's funny because Shohei Ohtani, if there was one player that I could get an absolute inside look at, some regular routine stuff for him just doing drills on a regular basis, bro, love that shit. When they pop on my feed, I bet, bro, I love watching Ohtani swing that bat.
Oh, it is. Oh my God. Next to Ken Griffey Jr., it's a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Ken Griffey good, but I mean it's up there. It's up there.
Oh, absolutely.
But this is also coming from somebody who I think Babe Ruth's swing was top 5.
That's fair. That is fair.
He used forward momentum in his swing. But now, and again, this is my one thing that I have to pitch for Babe Ruth, and I'll never let it go. This dude hit over 30 home runs in the dead ball era. That's a hand sewn ball. Okay, that's hand sewn ball. That thing after a couple innings, or even the first inning, like you're sitting there throwing it back and forth until it gets soft. So he's hitting this hand sewn baseball out the park.
What?
Bro, I'm just saying. Like, I got to give it up to Babe Ruth. The man was a beast of his time.
Yeah, that he most certainly was. Oh, man. Well, unfortunately, it is that time where we wrap things up. But I want to thank you again for coming on to the show and even coming on while you were stuck in traffic. Those fucking weekend warriors, man, they get you.
Hell yeah, brother.
All
But
right.
pleasure as always, man. You have a good one. I'll see you next week.
Sounds good, man. Enjoy your weekend. All right, so that was Spicy Big Mac. Now later on in the evening, I will be coming back on to do a UFC 299 live stream for the pay-per-view event. For those of you that will not be able to watch the pay-per-view, I will be doing a live stream of it. I won't have the camera on the event itself. The last time I did something like that, I accidentally posted it to my Facebook page. Next thing I know, I'm in Facebook jail of all places. It was a playoff game between the Titans and another team. It was like 2-3 years ago. I don't remember who the other team was, but I know the Titans were in the playoffs then. But again, I will be doing a live stream event of UFC 299 around 8 o'clock my time. So if you're on the East Coast, it'll be 10 o'clock Eastern time. If you're in the Midwest, it'll be 9 o'clock Central time. And if you're on the West Coast, it will be 7 o'clock Western, it'll be 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I hope y'all enjoy today's episode of No Mercy Sports. I will see y'all next week. Peace out.